NASCAR Super Bowl, the Daytona 500, is this weekend. And today is anniversary 10 of the death of Dale Earnhardt Sr., spun into the wall at the 2001 500, protecting the lead for his DEI team, his son Dale Jr., and race winner Michael Waltrip. NASCAR still lives in the shadow of Dale, realizes it still needs him. True to NASCAR ethics, they milk his legacy any way they can. So naturally, Dale Jr. gets pole position in this 2011 commemorative race. NASCAR always finds a way for these miracles to happen. Hey, I'm surprised NASCAR PR isn't telling us of a fan finding an image of Dale Sr. in their concession stand chili fries, with video of the pilgrimage to the infield to view the sacred beans, melted cheese, and potatoes. Now, today's Shakedown will not be a full-on rant-a-thon against NASCAR, because actually, there's a lot going on to make it better, including McLaren's entry, new cars for 2013, and it's still America's most popular racing, so it'd be nice to get it right. For 2011, there's a cool engineering backstory about what's going on at Daytona. Plus, by the time I'm done, I'll bring us back to road racing, thanks to Dale Earnhardt Sr., on this dramatic anniversary day. So don't click away just because I said NASCAR. Besides, I'm trying to win back that Arkansas viewer I pissed off with my deliverance replies to his comments. Okay, I am not suddenly a NASCAR fan, nor am I now an expert. I expect a ton of shots at me about how I don't know nothing about this great sport. But hopefully, I won't wank with the facts. To you NASCAR guys, that means suck. First, Dale very well could have earned his pole. Hendrick always has speedway aero and power. Junior has a new crew chief that is good. And Jeff Gordon put the team car on the front row too. That said, pole position is really just a NASCAR marketing ploy. Drafting is the factor in winning the race. P1 don't matter. It's just slapping your on the bar and saying, I'm here. But drafting in 2011 is now a two-car affair versus the big multi-car trains. It's linked to engineering and the smoother repaved track. Disclaimer, we recorded this on Tuesday before the Thursday qualifying races and before seeing the results of the changes NASCAR mandated after the Bud Shootout. But how we got here is still an interesting look into the thinking and strategy of NASCAR teams. And don't flame me if I get the details wrong. Just correct me in the comments and help educate all. So here goes. First, Daytona used to be so bumpy, you couldn't stay hooked up with a draft partner in the corners. Now you can. Next, the new nose is harder to damage. Now a lesson in how little things in racing make big and sometimes unintended differences. For 2011, NASCAR allowed larger hoses to the oil cooler. Plus, the cooler now could be moved inside the frame rails, less likely to be damaged bump drafting. Finally, everyone noticed Sam Hornish at Talladega 2010. Two-car drafting his way to the front real fast. So everyone went to work, which resulted in the last tweak, upping the engine radiator pressure so the cars can run nose to tail longer and not overheat. 12 to 13 laps. Into the wind tunnel for two-car aero work, put it all together, and voila, this. Swingers racing, couples hooking up, then moving on to a new pairing. Or it's the racing version of MTV Skins, whatever. But I find it ingenious how the NASCAR teams always adapt and find a way. They're cockroaches, and I mean that as a compliment. And guess what? They're running over 200 miles an hour again. I think that's cool. NASCAR's freaking out. So rules were changed this week to make the nose air inlet smaller, to remove the auxiliary oil cooler hoses, to drop radiator pressure to 33 psi, hoping that after only 2 or 3 laps, drivers would have to break off the draft or overheat. But as Jeff Gordon said, quote, "You can't take knowledge and throw it away. We'll still try to find a way to use our advantage." And how is that not the essence of racing? Plus, I assure you, NASCAR is harder to drive than just turning left, and the racing tougher than just riding around. Oh, and those big stupid American overhead valve V8s, they're now cranking 9,500 RPM plus. And that's without the precision of fuel injection, which NASCAR will finally allow in 2012. Since every car has had it since, the 80s? McLaren won the contract and is now the official ECU of NASCAR. Next, manufacturers pushed NASCAR to drop the generic car of tomorrow for real cars in 2013. Ford wants Mustang. Well, they really wanted to race an F-150, but Ferrari said no. But boom. Parnelli Jones used to race Mustangs, but in NASCAR he raced a Mercury. How about that? Mercury died before PJ. And Parnelli's my friend. And now back to Dale Sr. who would drive anything as long as he could just race. Like his first race car painted pink when his dad and friends built the car, mixed the paint wrong, and purple became pink. He also drove the Corvette C5R at the 2001 Daytona 24. The backstory was deeper than just a GM Racing one-off PR move. You know, Dale was known to watch F1 and Le Mans in his motorhome before his NASCAR runs, and he was making serious moves to set up his own Corvette team to race the Le Mans 24 and more. Head over to badboyvets.com and find posts /610 and /621. Or just search the BBV archives to read more and get the links to many articles about Dale's Corvette racing skills, plans, and that Daytona 24 where he finished 4th in his first sports car race. Of course, that beginning of February 2001 Corvette run all came to naught on the 18th of that year, 10 years ago today. Damn. NASCAR also revised the point system for 2011. 43 points for first, 1 point less for each spot all the way down to last place. Tony Stewart said, "This is by far the easiest point system I've ever seen." Yeah, thanks, Count from Sesame Street, you freaking genius. You know, you think he knows his car 14 is not always 14th in line?